Welcome to the Fireball Sports Podcast, brought to you by Casamigos Tequila, for those who drink it. Today we're going to do a deep dive into the most thrilling moments in the NFL. I am your host, Ryan Smith, and today we're going to break down the Wildcard NFC playoff game between the Bucs and the Commanders, and the continued Commanders fairy tale with rookie quarterback Jayden Daniels. Let's get into what a game this was. What a game. It was a nail-biter from start to finish, with the Commanders pulling out a dramatic 23-20 victory in the fourth quarter as the clock expired.
The Washington Commanders off the upright, and it is in! They fight their way to the divisional round!
But what stood out the most was the clutch performance when it mattered by Jayden Daniels. And before we get into Daniel's heroics in the fourth quarter, let's recap some things in the game, all right? All right, for those of you that don't know, Washington was fourth this year in third down conversions, behind teams like the Chiefs, the Eagles, big-time teams in the NFL. They were first in fourth down conversions. They went for it 23 times on fourth this year. They missed 3 times. This is an area they excel, and this is an area in football that usually makes champions. Now, the type of coach that Todd Bowles is a defensive-minded, blitz-heavy, show you a lot of different looks and a defense-type coach, and that is usually a great recipe to throw off a rookie quarterback. And it worked early, and it worked often. Daniels completed a huge 37-yard pass to McLaurin in the first, and it set up in the getting near the red zone a fourth and short.
Eckler flanked out. Again, Daniels throws to the feet of Eckler, and incomplete. And Tampa takes over on down.
Directly following the turnover and downs, Mayfield completes a 20-yard pass to their rookie McMillan, and they have a 3-0 lead. Now they're in Washington territory almost immediately with 8 minutes left in the first. It's not a good start. They stopped them from doing something they've done very well, and Daniels didn't look comfortable after that big play. Now, plenty of time left, but this is usually where rookie quarterbacks can get in their head. Instead, the Commanders come back, 2 plays in a row stop them. They force a 3rd and 8, and Washington brings the house, and Dorrance Armstrong doesn't sack Baker Mayfield, but forces him to step up and gain 2. They have to punt. So then, the punt pins him inside the 10. They force him 3rd and down again, and now Daniels converts. He just gets it. And then a big play, followed by a little screen to Eckler, and just like that, in 5 plays, they go from, inside their own 10 on 3rd and 6, needing a first down, and what could have turned out to be a huge momentum shift that was unrecoverable. The Bucs get the ball back and score. Instead, Daniels converts the 3rd, makes a nice 15-20-yard pass to Ertz over the middle, and then a screen to Eckler, and now they're on the 49 of Tampa. And the second quarter starts. They get in another situation. He gets a nice play to Robinson. They get down inside the 30. And then all of a sudden, here you find yourself a 3rd down again. A typical play where Daniels can run to the outside and pick up the yards, and they slam him on the sideline. Does not pick it up. And they have to go for it on 4th again in, the first couple minutes of the second. And they run a quarterback option to Eckler, and he just picks it up. So, they stop him on 3rd. It's hard to do. They almost stopped him again on 4th, but Daniels gets the right call on the option there. He doesn't take it himself. Eckler's the perfect guy, and now they're knocking on the red zone door. And what do you know? He drives them forward. They get to 1st and goal, and they force them to a 3rd and goal situation again. So this defense of Tampa, their game plan was working. And, Daniels sends McCaffrey in motion, and then he finds Deontay Brown wide open in the end zone. He looked off the defenders. He was poised. Boom. Touchdown. Commanders take a 7-3 lead.
Luke McCaffrey in motion. Daniels retreats through an end zone. Touchdown, Deontay Brown.
And right as the second half ended, it's where I felt like Daniels showed like he was getting a little comfortable. He does what he does well. It's a 3rd and 6, and he goes deep. End zone for McLaurin. McLaurin almost comes up with a a Odell Beckham style catch, but it was dropped, and they end up settling for a field goal. So they go into the half up a touchdown. Right, under a minute left. Wrong. Baker Mayfield drives this team down, and Marcus Lattimore is hurt. I know he did have practice, I believe, on Thursday, but he's playing hurt. And Mike Evans, it was just a Evans on Lattimore, 1-on-1, right down the field, and it culminated in finally a touchdown.
Looking to go back to it. To Evans for the touchdown. Fire the cannons and the Bucs. A kick from a tie.
You could see the frustration on Lattimore's face. He's a great cornerback. Let's not make any mistake about it. But Evans is a Hall of Fame receiver. He's a big guy, and they were able to catch the Commanders' defense a little off guard, and they go into the half tied up, and that was big again in the playoffs on the road. These situations already at halftime, you have a couple of situations where momentum alone can bury you. And the second half starts with the Bucs blitzing 4 and 5, and the blitzes are getting home, but Daniels is running, getting away, and making plays. Again, he uses De'Ami Brown, and he completes a 30-yard pass, in the third or fourth play of the half on second down. And then he gets De'Ami Brown again and has a 27-yard gain on a screen. And again, the Bucs, they played excellent. This is what Todd Bowles' coached defense does in the red zone. They are a very hard team to score on. And the Redskins, they don't have a Mike Evans type target in the red zone. Daniels is the reason that they're effective when they are. But this is a point that I think the team is a little weak, and combined with how strong the Bucs D with Todd Bowles' creativity and the schemes that he gives you a look at. It speaks to the strength of them and a little bit of a weakness to the Commanders here. But anyway, they get to a point in the first drive of the second half that it looks like they're going to take a 17-10 lead, almost definitely first and goal on the 3, and they have to settle for a field goal. And the Bucs come back. Again, he's using Mike Evans, gets a big gain over the middle. There's a pass interference call. He throws a little pass in the sideline to Bucky Irvin, who runs. You can see Lattimore is hesitant, lets him get about another 12 yards on the play because he doesn't really want to hit him. He does finally push him out of bounds. And, they get it to a point now where it's 13-10, and they get a first and goal situation. And, within a minute, you have the Bucs take the 17-13 lead as they run a little pick play, and Bucky Irving just comes right out of the backfield. Nobody's covering him. The Commanders' defense looked powerless to stop him on that drive. And
Tampa Bay takes the lead. Point to the guy that he is going to pick and make bounce around. He knew exactly who that player was. Standing.
Again, you have a momentum shift. Like I said, go into the half on a high. No, they run down a 1-minute drill and score. It's tied. They come out of the half, you go 10 plays down to the 3, you don't get a touchdown. And then it's answered with a touchdown. And now you're down 17-13, and it is the middle of the third quarter. But Jaden Daniels, poised, resilient, comes back. All right, so now you have them at the ball. He gets a nice 17-yard pass to McLaurin, gets over midfield. Another fourth down comes up in Bucs territory. The 4th and 5, they go for it. He puts the ball about 5 yards ahead of the marker, perfectly on the money to Zach Ertz, old vet tight end from the Eagles. It's still a playmaker, and they're right back in it. And then he has a 2nd and 10 play, and Brown goes deep. And what you can see is that he has the cornerback beat. What you can't tell if you're Daniels, and this shows his maturity, he literally throws the ball in a point that it's out of the back of the end zone, not uncatchable though. So he's going to give him a chance if he turns his head, but he can tell that he's beat to the point that the corner is going to have to grab him in the end zone. And that's exactly what happens. Pass interference in the end zone. They give the ball 1st and goal, and now they have a chance again to regain the lead. And what happens? That Bucs defense again has a goal line stand. They stop them 4 plays in a row, and they fail to convert another 4th down. So now they've been stopped inside of their 5-yard line on 4th down twice. I'm sorry, they've been stopped on 4th down twice, and they have been stopped inside of the 5-yard line from scoring twice. They've settled for a field goal the first time, and this time they turned the ball over. Usually you'd be thinking game's over. I mean, the home team just got a turnover in the 4th quarter with 11 minutes left. We got a great veteran quarterback, but this is what happens.
Guy's got 105 touchdowns, 9th all time in the NFL history. Oh, the ball's down. Mayfield lost it, and Washington pulled it away.
Subsequent turnover, Mayfield dropped the snap. Bobby Wagner was on it quickly. Like I said, great vet, still making big plays at big games at big times. So this is where, big players make big plays in big games, right? This team is led on defense by their middle linebacker, Bobby Wagner. I'd say he picks up the fumble, even though it was a Mayfield mistake. But Daniels is now given a second opportunity. It's a gift. And 3 plays in a row, they stop him again. And now he's a 4th and 2 from their own, from the Bucs 4. And what does he do? No, he doesn't run an option and hand it off to Eckler or try to sneak it. He goes end zone to McLaurin to take the lead on 4th down after being stopped already twice and failing to get it in from the same distance twice.
Daniels, going end zone, touchdown! Washington takes the lead with Terry McLaurin.
But let's not forget Baker Mayfield's a comeback kid, and it is, he led a 1-minute drill for a touchdown to end the second half right after Washington took a 10-3 lead. So this guy's got 9 minutes now. So he marches his team right down the field, of course. All right, so as good as Jaden Daniels was as far as resilience, this is the NFL. It's football. It's a team game. You have offense, you have defense, you have special teams. There's injuries, there's next man up, all these things involved. And again, at the time you give Mayfield, of course, he sliced and diced that defense, and it was, looking like at the very least the Commanders are going to be facing a situation that they're down 4 again. And, right as the Bucs get into the end zone after a couple plays with bad tackling, really bad coverage, guys are just being hit wide open. Number 0, his name escapes me. He's a young cornerback. For the Commanders, he blew a couple coverages, but then on 3rd and inches, after Bucky Irving has a big play to get them into scoring position, they come up huge in the most unlikely of times, and that's another sign of a team that is well coached and ready to win. A lot of things went wrong for them. A lot of opportunities were missed. The things that they do well, they settled for field goals when they should have had touchdowns. They were stopped on 3rd. They were stopped on 4th. But they didn't turn the ball over. They didn't make mistakes. And when it mattered, they made the most unlikely and difficult plays. And they did it at the crucial time. So now the Bucs, with 4 minutes left, 4.5 minutes left, have to settle for a field goal, tie the game up. So Commanders are put in another situation on the road in the playoffs that they have to go and take a lead. And clock management's huge here. You don't want to go down and score too fast, and especially don't want to go down and kick a field goal and give Mayfield time to run the 2-minute drill, since he's already been slicing and dicing the defense at ease, and you don't want to put him in a spot where he's bad. So Daniels has the game in his hands again.
And he knocks it through. 4:41. The Green just 3. Daniels throwing in the middle. It's caught for the first down. What a night it's been for De'Ami Brown. To the 45-yard line, a gain of 21, the best night of his career.
All right, Daniels manages to let the clock tick down It's a 2-minute drill. They get a little break. They reset on 2nd and 10. All right, so from the Bucks 45, it's 2nd and 10, and this is another amazing play that I don't think, just like that other 2nd and 10 where he threw in the end zone and got the PI call, he is seeing things that aged veterans see only. He sees Eckler covered by 0 on the Bucks, but what he sees is when Eckler runs out, he knows that the field in front of Eckler is completely wide open. He has all of his receivers running to his right. Okay, so he wants to hit Eckler, and so what he does is he sees the defender when Eckler starts to run his route outward to the post. He watches the defender turn his back to start running to cover him, and then he makes eye contact with Eckler. Eckler understands. He drops a little 5-yard, raindrop that falls right into over Eckler's shoulder because he sees the defender's helmet turn. He makes that split-second decision. He knows Eckler has open field in front of him. It was such a good play that they're not going to talk about, but what that shows, if you understand football, is just an amazing, almost inexplicable ability to read the field, the defense, and to think quickly. Eckler takes the ball down to the 27. Tampa has 2 timeouts, and, it didn't stop from there. He gets them down, in the next 2 plays, down to the 20-yard line, and of course, Tampa has used one of their timeouts. They only have 1 left, and now there's about a minute left, and 3rd and 1. Shotgun. And of course, what does he do? No fear. He takes the ball, runs it down to the 15, 1st down. Tampa has to call its final timeout, and now the Commanders are right at this moment in position for a 32-yard field goal. And he has the ability to run a play, get the clock started again, and set up perfectly for a field goal with 3 seconds left.
The fake to him. Daniels escapes and runs for the 1st down. Elijah Cansey, all he could do was grab a towel. He couldn't grab Daniels from 37 to send Washington to the final 8. The Washington Commanders off the upright, and it is in! They fight their way to the divisional round! Unbelievable!
I have seen it all now. I even get a divisional doink.
So Chris Collinsworth gets his divisional doink and has apparently seen it all. And the Washington Commanders fans get a matchup in the divisional round against the Detroit Lions. Big-time team, big-time game, and Daniels should have some extra confidence. Hey, there's been a lot of unlikely teams that have gone on to that road warrior, run, and he's been making history all year. Everyone keeps waiting for the fairy tale to end. It's a great thing for the sport, and it's a great thing for Commanders fans. It's been a long time coming. All right, I will be back with a post-game reaction for tonight's game, and then my picks for next week with the early lines. I have been Ryan Smith, and thank you for watching.